So this video is going to be sort of a continuation of my first Sanji theory, basically tying everything together. The year of Sanji is coming, so I believe it is vital to cover this topic. I suggest you watch part 1 before continuing, because it gives a lot of information on the subject. But anyways, Diable Jambe is like a really strange technique. It involves spinning like a top to create friction around Sanji's leg and then igniting it. Now, how on earth does he not burn his leg? When he takes the flames off, his pants and legs remain as if they were never flames to begin with, as if they were never burned. And a fan actually asked this in an SBS, volume 44. And Oda responded, "His leg is hot, ? No, it's not hot. Sanji's spirit/passion was burning so much hotter." Now, this response may be looked at as like a joke. It may be seen as like kind of a gag, but in the new world, Sanji does not need to spin or generate friction for Diable Jambe. At least in the manga. In the anime, it still shows him spinning, but in the manga, he no longer spins. So he doesn't even need friction anymore. And for Hell Memories, he just needs to get very passionate about something in order to generate flames around his whole body, which kind of proves what Oda said about him using his spirit to ignite his body. Now, pre-time skip, we saw him turn into a literal satanic figure with full body flames and Thriller Bark. And then he turned it into an attack with Hell Memories. So it's already been established by these pieces of evidence that Sanji generates flames through passion and his spirit and not his body. But why does he need to spin to generate heat? It makes sense that Haki is being used to generate these flames. Oda saying spirit and passion was just a vague way of hinting towards Haki, which literally means spirit and ambition. So he is using his soul as fuel for these flames instead of his own body, which is why his physical body is unharmed by the flames. The friction ignites his spirit aura and creates flames. That's why Oda says his spirit is burning. Now the same with Zoro. Kaku called Zoro's demon aura his spirit. So these techniques were their Haki auras being awakened early in the series. It's not a condensed form like the 3 colors of Haki, it's just their raw Haki being shown. So Azura represents Zoro's ambition and Satan represents Sanji's ambition. Both speak of the importance of their transformation, with Sanji calling the devil the god of spices and Zoro talking about the will of Azura and through pain and suffering, as if they actually were carrying the wills of these anti-gods. And don't forget that the Gorosei represent the heavens, which the anti-gods are against, and Luffy's crew is against the Gorosei and the world government. So if you have an open mind, you should probably accept these ideas pretty easily, as long as you aren't too biased towards a certain idea you have. But for his future techniques, I feel like we must dig deeper into this subject and these ideas to come up with any proper leads. Now, looking back on past characters that use flames, the earliest example is Pearl, one of Don Craig's crewmates whom Sanji fought. He had shields made up of iron, which Sanji would have normally been able to break through, but Pearl used special defensive flames, which Sanji could kick without getting burned. But for some reason, he couldn't break through the flames, so these flames actually have defensive properties. And another example is Marco. He has special healing flames, which actually don't burn you. Oda said that these flames give you the ability to fly and regenerate after being attacked, but they do not have any any sort of offensive ability. Now, what types of flames are Diable Jambe? Sanji calls them red flames that give him power in the manga. Now, this is apparently what allowed him to break through Gyabura's Tekai, which is around the consistency of steel. It's been established that there are several types of flames in One Piece, and so who's to say Sanji might not have more than one color, which has currently only shown to be red. In fact, he's already been shown using different colors of flames before in a spectrum attack he used in Fishman Island. Now, this could be an early demo of a spectrum of different individual flames that he could use in the future. Since Oda said his flames rely on passion and spirit, then each flame could be fueled by different emotions and passions that affect his body. His Haki, I mean. His red Diable Jambe works on the basis of anger and pent-up hatred. That's why every time he uses these red flames, he's incredibly angry. It is also seen as pretty mediocre in the New World because it barely has any effect on Doflamingo, and it kind of had an effect on Virgo, but not enough. So I think he's going to need better flames than just red anger flames. But how would these emotions be represented? Sanji compared his flames to Hellfire, which has this Haki aura of Satan. Believe it or not, there are established circles of hell in Dante's Inferno, which have unique punishments incorporated into each layer. Oda actually used Dante's Inferno as inspiration for the layers of Impel Down, so he might use the layers of Hellfire as a basis for Sanji's different colored flames. So the circles of hell used in Dante's Inferno are partially based on the 7 deadly sins, and since Sanji has an aspect of each sin, he could use ambition driven from each sin as a basis for the color of each flame. In real life terms, fire often burns in different colors depending on what is being ignited. For example, copper sulfate, when burned, will create green flames. So Sanji's spirit might be the same, whereas when he ignites his spirit, the color will change based on the emotion or sin being reflected. That's why he bursts into red flames when he's angry, or conveying the sin of wrath. Now, with his Spectrum attack, it represents a rainbow of color. While fighting the Okama during the time skip, he might have developed these 9 flames to get the 99 recipes from each faction of the Okama. So each flame could have been used to gain 11 recipes each. Thus why there's 99 recipes and 9 circles of hell. So why isn't there 100? Why only 99? I think that Ivankov had to be fought to get the final hidden recipe. So Sanji used the rainbow flames and he used in Fishman Island for the final recipe, which is funny because Ivankov also has an attack named Gannon Spectrum, and rainbows are seen as sort of flamboyant, and the Okama Island has a huge rainbow around it. So the rainbow flames kind of make sense. Now, in each layer of flame can use a different fighting style that Sanji learned from each faction of the Okama. Like maybe his red flames can be like a rage fighting style. He could have a different flame that uses a different type of Okama fighting style. Now, what could each one be? Now, I think that each flame could represent a different layer of hell, and some layers of hell do represent sins, so it'll kind of make it easier to kind of convey emotion and passion. Now, these are the layers. Now, the first one would be the clear flames of Limbo. These flames are colorless and are an aura of emptiness felt from being completely calm. It would make him invisible by bending the light around him. It'd be like a clear flame. And Sanji always wanted to be an invisible man. He stated this many times, so this would fit his character very well. Limbo is the first layer of hell, which it's filled with darkness and emptiness. So the purple flames of lust would be the next one. These flames would be activated when he thinks of women. They create a tornado of air pressure, using air pressure. So similar to the second layer of hell, which actually burns endlessly with a tornado, and similar to Zoro's tornado that endlessly cuts people. And this could represent the term love is a storm/hurricane, which Sanji has said a lot in One Piece. And the next one would be the blue flames of Gluttony. These flames are so hot that when they spread and burn everything in sight. It can be used in range attacks for fire spread and to attract opponents by eating them up with flames. It'll be created when wanting to eat up his opponent with flames out of intense anger. That's sort of why they would be blue and hotter than his red flames. And the next one would be the green flames of greed. Flames that are used to protect and preserve, similar to Pearl's defensive flames. If Sanji has the will to protect someone or block an attack, he can summon these green flames to absorb the impact much better than he normally could. And since he fought Pearl in the past, he might have used these flames as inspiration from his flames that were defensive flames. Now, red flames of wrath/anger, created from pure anger, and I think that this is what he normally shows, which are red flames that he used against Giabura out of complete rage. Now, I believe that since he has mostly shown anger in fights, he needs better techniques against each faction of Okama, and this is using pure power. So it might put him at a disadvantage if he just uses power. So this might have been what led to the other colors. And then the next one is the yellow flames of heresy or envy. And this is created from the feeling of feeling disadvantaged by a certain power that his enemy's using, specifically a flame attack maybe. Now this can allow him to absorb other people's attacks or flame attacks and use it against them as a counterattack. Next is the orange flames of violence. These are created from intense bloodlust, granting intense speed and agility to chase a target down and barrage them with attacks. It's sort of like his version of Gear Second. This would give him a lot more speed. He might need to fight faster opponents. And we know that he has Shave, the CP9 technique, so this would make good use of it. Black Flames of Fraud or Sloth. Now, Black Flames that use Armament Haki to make it heavier. And it's been shown that Armament Haki does have a fluid-like property by Rayleigh and Zoro. Rayleigh has used sort of a liquid-like clear Armament Haki, and Zoro has used a armament hardening that looks liquidish. I'll show it on the screen. So Sanji could use it in a flame form to drown people in heavy flames. It will slow them down, and it'll be useful against Logias since it'll cause them to materialize. Lastly, the White Flames of Pride or Treachery. Now this is when Sanji is most prideful and most willing to win the fight. So this is the last circle of hell where the devil himself is. It'll be his strongest flame and used as his finisher. Now the last flame of hell is made up of ice and is extremely cold, so I think that Sanji could absorb the heat from the surrounding area, leaving it cold and barren like the last layer of hell where everything's sort of frozen. He could even freeze his enemy by absorbing the heat from their body. And it'll all absorb into a powerful white flame in his leg, which is the hottest flame. Sort of how Kizaru absorbs light into his leg, and then it'll be released into a powerful beam of white scorching flames. I think it'll be his version of like King Kong gun or something like that. So I think with all these flames, he could use some kind of full body flame for each version, because we already see a full body red flame, which was shown during the Fishman Island arc against Wadatsumi, the Hell Memories technique. So I think for each one, we'll have maybe like it'll sort of morph him a little bit, because we saw in Thriller Bark that the red flame made it look like the devil, like a red devil. So the other colors may actually make him look like a different type of devil, like the white flames might morph his face a little bit differently. Like maybe his clear flames will make him look a little bit more like calm rather than angry. It would just be kind of cool. Anyways, that's my idea. It's kind of hard to go off anything else, because I mean I could just say like, oh hey, he's gonna use hotter flames or something like that, or he's gonna use black flames, but I feel like this adds more depth and reasoning behind it. So I do hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you understand the Haki concept. Once again, this is not, I'm not saying that he got Haki early in the series, like way before Luffy did. I'm saying that this could be like him releasing his Haki aura. It's not like armament or observation, it's just raw Haki being released. And let's not forget, a lot of people might say this is too in depth, but actually, if you think about it, Zoro has been using demon auras, different types of demon auras. Luffy has all these different gears. The only one who doesn't have all this stuff is Sanji. He just has standard kicks and then Diable Jambe. And I feel like he needs a lot more in the new world. He needs speed. He needs like fire spread. And it might actually let him catch up to Zoro, because if he can use this in like slashes, like CP9 slashes with flames, that would really help him out. And like I said, with the last white flame, which would be his finisher, that would really put him on level with Gear 4 Luffy. And hopefully by the time he shows all this, Luffy will be a little bit stronger than King Kong Gun. So it won't seem too overpowered for Sanji, since Sanji and Zoro are relatively similar to Luffy in strength. So hope you understood all that once again. And tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.